welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 158, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back each week. And if you're a new viewer, thanks for stopping by, and please click the red subscribe button, which is down below. And if you click the little bell-shaped icon next to it, that will notify you anytime I post a video, which is normally on Saturday and Wednesday. Although this week, there was a lot of videos being posted, just short little ones, because there was some really good sales. Wasn't even Black Friday yet, which here in the U.S., Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving when there are huge sales and everybody runs around and gets their Christmas shopping done. Mine's already done. My husband and I Christmas shop the day or the week after Christmas for the following year. Everybody's trying to get rid of all their stock, and so we get it cheaper. I just have to keep track of what I get for everybody so that works. Anyway, but that was totally not knitting or crochet related, but that's okay. I've got lots of things to share today, so let's get started. I have two finished objects. I finished my second cowl. This is the one that is going to my daughter-in-law. And I love the colors in this except for the weird orange. It's okay. It's in the scheme of things, it looks okay. But when it first came through, I was like, ew. So anyway, there it is. And this pattern is called the Twinkle Cowl. It is by, I think it's Sandy Rosner. I think that's who it is. Last name's Rosner. It was a pattern on Knit Crate about a year ago, I believe. So, now, here's where the question was. When I knitted the first one, which is this one, the pattern did not have you change size needles for the ribbing. And normally with patterns that have ribbing, you do the ribbing with a knitting needle that is one size smaller than the rest of the body of the knit, because when ribbing kind of stretches out more, it takes up more space. So sometimes the ribbing can make it look like it's actually bigger than the actual body. So as a result, you knit it with the size smaller needles. But this pattern, however, did not call for doing that. And as a result, my edge was really rippling and rolling a lot. So I wondered how it would look once it was blocked out. And when I did the second one, I just automatically did what I was used to doing, and I knitted my ribbing stitch, which is at each side here, with smaller needles, and then switched to larger needles for doing the body. And someone asked, they wanted to see what the comparison was once they were both finished and blocked to see. Now, this is the one that has the larger needles for the ribbing. And it did block out okay. It is not rolling anymore. You can see that the stitches on the ribbing do look slightly bigger than they do on the rest of the work, because ribbing is created by knitting and purling. This is the one with the smaller. I do think it looks more uniform. I think overall it looks better done this way, but this one turned out okay. They did both block out fine. This wool, the yarn that I used had a lot of, it had some wool in it, and so it blocked out very nicely. And this is going to be a nice sized cowl. I don't want to put this on because they're Christmas presents and my hair comes out and I don't want to get hair all over them. But I mean, this is doubled over, and this is going to, it's going to hang nicely about like that. So I think they'll be very good. This one is for my daughter, and this one is for my daughter-in-law. So that's project number 1 is finished. My second project, I did not get a whole lot of sewing done this week. I've been making project bags. These project bags that I'm showing, I showed a bunch of them last week. They are in my Etsy shop, so if you see one you like, you can click the link down below and it will take you over to my Etsy shop. I have one of these so far. I am going to be making a couple of these that are identical, but here it is. I love this. It looks like these are all little train tickets. And then the bottom here is a faux suede. So yes, it's not real. It's a faux suede. So it is all man-made and everything. It's all washable. But I just like the pattern. I think it's cute, all these little train tickets. So, yeah. And I think some of them are English because one of them says Paddington, which I believe is maybe in the UK. But then there's one that says Minnesota Avenue. And yeah, all different types. But yeah, it's all different types of train tickets. And the inside is just solid train tickets. So, and then it's got ribbon drawstrings on each side. Like that. So, like I said, these are for sale over in my Etsy shop. So those are my two finished objects. Now, somehow my works in progress seem to multiply this week. I went from 2 works in progress to 4 because why not? I don't know. I've got more things going on than I know what to do with. I'm very excited to say that I have a semi-finished project in my cardigan. This is a crocheted cardigan that Pam Phillips told me about. The pattern is over on YouTube, and I don't remember the name of the lady. Anyway, I had done the back, which I finished, I think, last week. No, I had finished more than that last week. I had finished, this is the back. And this looks like it's really wide, but it's not a sweater that ends at your shoulder. It hangs down probably about to here. So between my elbow and my shoulder is where the quote shoulder seam is. It's a dropped shoulder. So that's why it's so wide. Plus I'm wide, but we won't talk about that. I got this week, you can see where I was last week. This is the front panel. This would be my right side. And so last week, you can see where my progress keeper was going back up. I got all the way up and it's hooked on the shoulder. So I can technically put this on as a semi-vest at this point. So there it is. And I did taper the edges here because I don't want something right up against my neck. So there it is. I'll see if I can stand up so you can see about how far down this is going to come. So my waist is right about here. Well, right about here. I'm very short-waisted, but my waist is about here. So you can see it comes right to about the same spot where my shirt ends. And then you can see where the drop shoulder is going to land. So then the sleeve will get picked up here and go down the rest of my arm. So there it is so far. Now my next work in progress is my pullover that I've been working on. And I've gotten a good ways with it this week too. So it is all cabled in the front. And there you can see it. The back is supposed to be cabled as well. I'm not going to make the back cabled. The back I think I'm going to do plain because this is very time consuming and no one's going to see it in the back. So I just don't know if and there is bulk added with cables. As you can see, they're kind of puffy. And there's a cable on edge here too. It's like a small little cable that runs here and then this kind of waves back and forth on this section. And then here's the center. So it's really pretty. I just don't know if I want to deal with all this tediousness on the back as well, because the arms are cabled too. So, I don't know. I think it would be pretty on the back, but I also am really concerned about my yarn abilities here. I only have 6 skeins of this, and cabling takes up more. I mean, I figure as it is, I'm changing the neckline on the sweater because the neckline is like a mock turtleneck. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to end it, more scooped neck just to try to save some of the yarn. And if worse comes to worse, it'll be 3/4 length sleeves instead of full length sleeves. but still cabling can take up extra yarn. So I am seriously considering just doing the back plain. And then once I get the two of those together, I will decide whether I really want to cable the sleeves as well. Because my only concern if I don't cable the back is it going to look weird to have cabling on the front and the sleeves and then the back's plain? So, yeah, you know what I mean. It might look a little weird. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should I cable the back or should I not cable the back? Just leave your comments down below. I need some opinions here. So, ladies, please let me know what you think I should do. But anyway, that is my progress on that. Then I started on, I really like the virus shawl, but I'm making a virus scarf. I am using Aunt Lydia's, and I'm thinking this is, now I always get this confused. You guys that crochet all the time are going to laugh at me. This is not the thin. I always get mixed up. Is this number 3 or number 10? It's the thicker. But I get my numbers confused because I know they're backwards from what I was thinking, what I would think. I'm not sure. We'll just say it's the thicker one. If I can figure out what it is, I'll stick it someplace down here. But anyway, this is Aunt Lydia's, and this is black. I have a whole bunch of this in all different colors because years ago, I bought a bunch on eBay. It was like a package of some balls of yarn, of this stuff. Yeah, this stuff. The cotton crochet thread. I think it was like 17 of them, and they were, the person that was selling them was like, it was like $1 a ball, something like that. They were used, they were partial and stuff, so I bought like I've got a tub full of the stuff. So I am making this in the virus shawl, and this is going to be a scarf. So let me show you what it looks like. Right now it looks like a giant black cobweb. Do I undo this without undoing my stitches? There we go. There it is so far. It does look like a giant black cobweb. But anyway, I have real cobwebs in my house in some places. So I am going to make one of these in, boy, it's like strands everywhere. It's like my hair. It falls out all over the place, and I'm constantly finding my hair everywhere. Yeah, there we go. There's the end. Okay. I'm going to make this. I don't know if I'm going to do the same pattern. I just love the virus pattern. Anyway, I'm going to make some other scarves in, I have one in navy blue, one in a cream, and then the black, and then purple. So, and they're not like scarves like here. They're going to be like scarves, you know, scarves. So anyway, there it is. So I really like this. I have a meeting on Monday, and it's like an all day long meeting. So I'm trying to figure out which project to take with me because I can't take a pattern. It's got to be something I can sit there and do. And it's kind of not lit real well because I'm in a seminar, so the lighting's not great. I don't dare take something that tiny because I thought about just taking that and working on it, but there's just no way with the lighting situation I could do anything tiny because it's not going to work. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out, that's why I was thinking about knitting up the back of the sweater because it's big enough that I could work on that with no problem in the semi-dark. So the last project I'm working on is the fingerless mitts for my granddaughter. And so I got those started. I'm doing them 2 at a time, and then I will take them off of 2 at a time and when I do the thumbs. Well, actually, what I will do is I will do these 2 at a time, leave a gap where the thumb is, and then I'll come back in and put the thumb in at the very end. So here they are so far, and they have a little bit of a pattern. I'm going to stick my hand up inside them so you can see it a little better. There, you can see the pattern. It's like a 2-pattern repeat, and the back is just stockinette with the rib stitch. So we get this closer. There, you can see it a little bit better right there. And then here is the front. Now the pattern I'm using for this is actually a hat pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I got it before I did away with my Ravelry account. But I don't know if you can get it other places or not. It's called Light and Lacy Spring Hat by Rachel Goff. And here's what the hat looks like. And so there's patterns in it. I'm repeating 2 of those patterns onto the fingerless mitts. And then I'm also going to make her a hat, and it's almost going to be, isn't it funny? It's almost the same color. Look at that. So I'm going to make her a hat as well. I'm hoping I have enough of this yarn. If not, I'm going to combine it with something to make the hat. I actually will be combining it. If I run out, I'll be combining it with this for the hat. This and this together were one of my patterns for, it was called the Basket Wave. It's a shawl design that I made, and these 2 colors are together in it. And you can see it's got the blues and teals. And so initially when I asked my granddaughter if she wanted a mix of these or if she wanted a solid, she said she wanted a solid. I know I'll have enough for the solid for the fingerless mitts, but the hat, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to, because I just have 2 skeins. I can get more, but by the time I'd pay the shipping, I'd prefer not to spend more on it. So I'll just put these together if I have to and do that for her hat. Now the yarn I am using, this is from Bluprint, which is the old Craftsy. And it is Cloudborne Fibers. It is Highland Superwash Sock Twist, and the color is called Sky Blue. I thought it was teal until I started looking at the band, and I went, oh, it's blue. I always thought it looked more teal. So that is what I am making it out of, and it is 80% Superwash Fine Highland Wool and 20% polyamide. And there are 178 yards per skein, or 163 meters. And I have 2 of them. The other 2 I used in the shawl. So that is what this is. And it's actually, I think it's on sale right now over at Bluprint, because Bluprint's having quite a bit of sales, which I'll get to in a little bit. I think it's on sale for $6.99. I think that's right. I had it written down someplace, but I think it's $6.99. Now, before we do show and tell and see what you all are making, I wanted to talk about a couple things that are in the show and tell this week, because the text that I put up just doesn't explain enough about it. So first off, there is not as much in the show and tell because most people that are submitting things are submitting them to our holiday along, which is our make along that's running between now and the end of the year. So there's not as many projects being entered onto the show and tell. So there's a few that are on there, but there's a couple that, like I said, I wanted to talk about. The first one is by Spring Noelker that you will see on there, and she made her own niddy noddy. So rather than try to type in there and explain what a niddy noddy was, I thought it's easier for me to just explain it. A niddy noddy is used for winding yarn so that you can get them into the hanks that you can then, like twist into the yarn hanks that you see in yarn stores. You could also use a ball winder. You could also use a yarn winder, like a Swift. You could use that. A niddy noddy is more of a manual form of winding your yarn. It looks like the capital I that you then twisted so that the ends are perpendicular to each other. And then you wind it around and it kind of figure eights and comes back up. And that's how you wind your yarn. And when you finish, you could use it to measure your yarn. If you know the path that you're running your yarn around, how many inches it takes to make a yard, then all you'd have to do is count how many rotations you've made around the niddy noddy, and you would know approximately how much yardage you have for a project. And like I said, it's used to wind your yarn up that you can then twist into a hank. And when I call something a hank, this is what I'm talking about. if I open this up, it's a big circular loop of yarn. And that's what you can do with a Swift or yarn winder, or you can do it on a Niddy Noddy. When you buy yarn from a company or manufacturer, they are put in like these type of skeins, which are wound a whole other way. But a Niddy Noddy is used to do this. So Spring spun, and she did a really good job, her first spinning job, and it's very, very good. A lot of times when you first learn to spin, you have lots of nubs in your yarn, you know, where the fibers kind of clump, or you just have a hard time regulating whether the yarn is thin or thick. Hers looks very, very even. And so she has some pictures of what it looks like when she shows a picture of the Niddy Noddy that she made, and she made it out of PVC pipe, like what you can get at a plumbing store. So it's super cheap. She has a picture of that, but then she has pictures of what her handmade or hand-spun yarn looks like on the Niddy Noddy. So you'll see that in one of the pictures. And then there's a picture of Yoka's vest that she's working on. Now, it's really interesting because what she's doing is she had a sewing pattern that she really liked. And it looks like it's a gourd, what they would call gourd, which means a group of panels that are all sewn together to form the vest. And she liked the sewing pattern, but she wanted to translate that to a knitting pattern. So she actually, it looks like she drew that pattern out and then fitted her yarn, what she was knitting with her yarn, to fit that pattern. So when you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. She's got individual sections that she's made, and like now she's getting ready to sew them together to form this vest. And the vest is kind of like an A-line, almost like a swing vest, because it's the goring causes it to like go out just a little bit. So it's very pretty. And it's being done with her hand-dyed and hand-spun yarn. And you see that in the beginnings of the picture. You'll see the mini skein set that she's working from. So those are the things that are going to be in the show and tell. And now I'm going to let you guys watch it. Now it's time for our holiday along update. Now, for those of you who are new, we are running a holiday along. It is started October 1st and is running until December 31st. It is being run through a Facebook group over on Facebook called the Holiday Along 2019. If you haven't already gone over and joined it, you can. You just have to click that you would like to be a member, and either Sara, Oliver, or I will go ahead and let you be a member, because everybody is welcome to participate in this. I tried to send out invitations to as many people as I could find on Facebook that are friends that I know I hear from regularly. But if I by chance missed you or your name didn't pop up or whatever, please feel like you are included, because everybody's welcome to join in with this. It needs to be something done with yarn. So it has to be knitted or crocheted, Tunisian crochet, anything like that. And all you need to do when you enter is post a picture, tell us whether it's knitted or crocheted, approximately how many yards you used. It does not have to be like the exact, just as close as you can, a guesstimate's fine. And then if you have a pattern, let us know what the pattern is, because when we all see it, those of us who see it and go, "Ooh, we like that," it's always helpful if we know what the pattern is that you used. So, that's what you do to enter. And then at the end of the holiday along, Sara Oliver, who is the other participating podcaster, and myself, each of us will draw a winner on our individual podcasts. Now, to add a little element of fun with this, we are traveling around the world, and a big thank you to Sara Oliver for setting this whole thing up, because I think she's doing the vast amount of work, because she's tracking all of the yardage that you all are producing. And we are running Team Knit against Team Crochet, and you can participate in both. You don't have to be specific one to the other. We're just having fun. There's no prize involved with this part. We're just curious to see how far we can get. So each week I post either Team Knit or Team Crochet's progress from Glasgow, Scotland to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, which is where I live. And Sara does the opposite. So this week, my podcast update for the holiday long will be the crochet team. If you want to check out and see how far the knitting team went, make sure to go over to Sara's podcast, which is Sara Oliver, The Lass Who Knits, and she's doing Team Knit this week. So let me fill you in with Team Crochet. You managed to crochet over 10,000 yards of yarn this week. 10,000 yards? You guys are busy. Yeah. That means that Team Crochet has completed leg 7 of their journey by reaching Calcutta, which is India. And they also completed leg 8 of their journey by arriving in Bangladesh at the start of the week. Team Crochet is now traveling to Mandalay, which is in Burma, and have arrived at the city of Sylhet. Sylhet is situated on the Surma River and is known for its Sufi shrines, like the ornate tomb and mosque of the 14th century Hazrat Shah Jalal. I hope I pronounced that right. It's now considered a major pilgrimage site near the Dargah Gate. The temperature in Sylhet at the moment is 29 degrees Celsius, which is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be nice right here, because we're getting over here in the northeast of the U.S., they are saying we are going to get record temperatures, like cold temperatures, and it's windy outside now. Not as windy as last week when there was a tornado warning going on. Isn't it fun to live in the Northeast? Anyway, yeah, we have snow. I did see snow flurries this morning, just briefly, but we had snow flurries. So, yeah, warm weather would sound really good. So I'm going to insert some pictures that Sara sent me, so you can get a good idea of what the town of Sylhet looks like. Now, again, make sure to go over to Sara's podcast to check out how Team Knit is doing and to see what she is up to, because she is a prolific knitter and crocheter. If you have seen some of the projects that she's doing over in the holiday along, she's way ahead of me. I think I've submitted 2 or 3, and she's submitted like countless numbers because, yeah, she knits apparently a lot faster. So now it is time for... Now, If you've been watching the channel, you will see I did a lot of little teeny short videos this week because every time I checked my email, there was a new sale popping up. I'm not quite sure why there were so many really good sales this week, but there was some wonderful sales, and some of you took advantage of those. And I do want to say a thank you, because anytime you go to the links that are down below in my description box, if you look down below the subscribe button, and you'll see some writing. If you hit the show more, it drops down, and all of the links that I talk about are in there. And so all of the links to the sales are down there. Some of you used those links and went over and bought a good amount of yarn supplies. If you did, let me know what you got. I'm nosy that way. I'd love to see what I live vicariously through other people's yarn buying. So yeah, if you bought some stuff, let me know what you got. I'd love to know what you bought and what you think you're going to make with it. Because it's always fun to get other people's ideas. And like I said, live vicariously, because I'm trying not to buy too much yarn right now because I've got lots over here and I need to work my way through some of it. But those of you who did buy, I want to say a great big huge thank you, because I do get a small commission out of any of the sales that you go through those links down below. And that's pretty much where I make any of the money that helps support the giveaways on the podcast, because I don't make much from YouTube. If you'd like me to do a video on what you make with YouTube, and yeah, let me know. I'll do that. So let's get started. Annie's is having a big fall sale, up to 50% off site-wide. That's over at Annie's. I did not see that there's a coupon code that you need to use. I think they've just marked things down. When you click through the link, you'll just see big fall sale, and just click on that. It'll take you over to what's on sale. Bluprint, which is where I got the yarn that I'm using for the fingerless mitts for my granddaughter. They are also having 50% off of their favorite brands. So again, I did not see any kind of coupon code that was necessary. I think they've just marked it down on the sites. Now, Consumer Crafts is offering 20% off site-wide through Sunday. So the sale ends on November 10th. You do need a coupon code FFSale19. Now, Consumer Crafts is one of the best prices that I have found for Lily's sugar and cream yarn. That's the yarn you make dishcloths out of. Theirs is regularly priced $1.97 per skein. So it's 20% off of that. So that's a pretty good deal. If you see dishcloths in your future, this would be the time to get them. They also have the 3-tiered rolling cart, which I have one, and then I bought a second one because I liked it so much. So my husband has one and I have one. I love the thing, and if I could find other uses for them, I'd have more of them around my house. So anyway, that is over at Consumer Crafts as well. So again, that's 20% off with that coupon code FFSale19. The Dollar Tree offers yarn at $1 a skein. You can go online to buy that. They do carry it sometimes in the store, but not very often. Most of the time you have to find it online. Now, they do carry Premier Home Cotton, which is, again, something you can make dishcloths with. They also carry Premier Chunky yarn and Premier Yarns by Deborah Norville. They have other brands as well, but those are some of the more recognizable ones. You do, though, need to be aware you need to buy the entire case. So that could be 6 skeins of yarn. That could be up to 50-some skeins of yarn. So just make sure you read really well before you order, or go together with a group of friends and get some and then split it up. And you can have it delivered to the store and then pick it up, so you don't even have to pay shipping. So if you have a Dollar Tree near you and you want to get a bunch of yarn really, really cheap, there's your way to do it. So Knit Crate offers 20% off of the first subscription box. You do need to use a coupon code KCreations20 in order to get that 20% off. Knit Picks and We Crochet is offering a big sale up to 60% off over $1,200? Yeah, 1,200 yarns right now. So you can go over and check that out. If you click, when the website comes up, you'll just see the sale and just click, it says shop now, click the shop now. You can also, with Knit Picks, get a free stitch marker if you purchase over $50. You do need to use the coupon code MARKER in order to get that free stitch marker thrown in as well. Leisure Arts, I went over and I found some interesting things this week over on Leisure Arts. You know, the yarn cakes like mandala, or I think there's one called cupcakes, and you know what I'm talking about. They're cakes of yarn and they've got variegated yarn inside. They have some books that you can get that actually have projects that are especially for caked yarn. So they have the crocheted one, which is called Cakery Crochet. There are 9 projects in the book, and it starts at $4.99. $4.99 is if you want the digital download for the pattern, which is cheaper in the long run, and then you just print it out for yourself because you don't have to pay shipping for it. Over in the knitting section, they have Knit Cakery. It's also $4.99 for a download, and it's 10 projects. So there are 2 different books that you can get that you can especially use your variegated cakes of yarn with. Now over at Lion Brand, they are still running, I posted this video earlier this week, they were running 5 skeins for $10, which is really, really good, and most of us went, yay, sale, and went running over to the site to go check it out. But if you've missed out, they are still offering it while supplies last. So I'm going to tell you what was still there when I'm recording this video. You do need to use a coupon code 5410. Now you put this coupon code in before you go to the checkout. So once you've decided what you want and you've put it into your shopping cart, go to the shopping cart, and where it says, it tells you to apply the coupon code or promotion code or whatever, that's where you put it in. You must do it before you get over to the checkout section because it's not going to be over there. So make sure you get it in the right spot. But as of this taping, they had Cute as a Button in the colors 203, 206, and 211. They had Scarfy yarn in color 222, which is Eggplant Taupe. And they also had one, and I didn't write the number down, it's called Taupe Charcoal. So they had 2 colors of Scarfy yarn available. Shawl in a Cake, they had Restful Rainbow, Crown Jewels, Half Moon, and Sun Salutations were still available. That is the shawl in a cake. Touch of Alpaca yarn, which is a alpaca blend. They had black and olive still available. The shawl in a ball, they had Peaceful Earth. I have Peaceful Earth. This is what Peaceful Earth looks like. It's very fall-ish. It's got different tones of browns. It's got like a chocolate brown and a goldeny brown, and then it has a really pretty, like an olive green in here. So this is what Peaceful Earth is. And it's really, really pretty. And it's really, really soft too. So anyway, they still have some of this available as well. They have Vanna's Glamour yarn in Sapphire and Red Stone are still available. And Vanna's Choice yarn in the color Obsidian, which is black. So that is what they have got available over there. So those are the sales for this week. So Wednesday's video is totally up for grabs right now. If the Knit Crate comes in time, I will do a Knit Crate unboxing for Wednesday. But if it doesn't arrive on time, I think I will be doing a Ask Me Anything video. So either way, at some point in time, I will be doing an Ask Me Anything video. So if you have a question that is just burning in your mind to know, just feel free to leave a comment down below and ask me a question. It can be pretty much anything. It doesn't necessarily, it can be personal. It can be, channel related, as far as the YouTube channel. It can be about knitting, crocheting. I'm kind of flying blind right there because I really don't know that much to be able to answer your crochet questions, but I'll try. Whatever you would like to know. So if you have a question, like I said, put it down in the comments below. And if I don't do it this Wednesday, I will be doing it in some upcoming video. So that's it for this week. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again Wednesday with something. So, we'll all be surprised on Wednesday because I have no clue what I'm going to put on the video. So, anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks again, everybody. Talk to you later.